Hey guys, Matt here. This is my review of Red 1. This movie is directed by Jake Kasdan, who previously directed the latest Jumanji movies, and the movie stars Dwayne Johnson, Chris Evans, and J.K. Simmons. Now, the plot of this movie is Santa, played by J.K. Simmons, has been kidnapped, and so it's up to his top elf, or should I say ELF, extremely large and formidable bodyguard, Callum Drift, played by Dwayne Johnson, to find him. But he needs the help of the world's greatest tracker, played by Chris Evans. Now, when I first saw the trailer to this movie, my thought process was, okay, J.K. Simmons as Santa. Alright, I'm there for that. And then The Rock was in it, and I'm like, okay, cool, this could be a fun Christmas movie. And then I saw Chris Evans in the cast. And I was like, why is Chris Evans in the cast? If this was a movie, about Christmas, and it was The Rock and Chris Evans, like a buddy cop kind of movie, like Jingle All the Way, I could get behind it. But then I noticed it was going to be a lot of Christmas stuff. Like, a lot of Christmas stuff. And I saw the movie, and it was fun, but for a Christmas movie that's released in the middle of November, that says something. I'm going to start with the acting in this movie. J.K. Simmons as Santa, really good. Really good. He has this approach to delivering presents that I won't spoil. That's very interesting. Unfortunately, we don't see it until the third act, right? You'd think Santa doing his Santa thing would be towards the beginning of the movie or, early on, but it's in the third act that we see it. But he does his Santa thing and his presents delivery really covertly. I'll just say that. As far as The Rock goes, he's playing The Rock in this movie. When you have a character, like that, it's really hard for The Rock to play anyone else. It's kind of like Liam Neeson. Once he's played that Taken role, it's really hard for him to play like an everyman, someone who doesn't have these extraordinary gifts or talents. Chris Evans is really the only one that plays a down-to-earth character. He plays a human. He plays a tracker. And I will say that his acting was fine, but it's only really because his character is really the only one that arcs or changes. He plays a character named O'Malley, and his whole thing is that he really doesn't believe in Santa Claus or the holidays or anything. He's almost like a Scrooge. He just doesn't really care about any of that. And so his course over the movie, that's where it changes, where he becomes to, enjoy Christmas, but also become a better father. But other than that, everything from start, point A to point C is the same throughout. There's a villain in the movie, but she's a witch that could have been played really by anybody. There's nothing special about this character. Really, the only thing that stands out to me in this film is there's a small role played by Nick Kroll, who, outside of Get Him the Greek, usually if you cast Nick Kroll in a movie, it's going to be some silly, voice or character, and he does something here where his character is possessed, so he's talking all funny, but that was neat and enjoyable. But the world of Christmas is something we've seen before. We've seen that in the Tim Allen Santa Claus movies. We saw that in the latest Kurt Russell Christmas movies. I forget what they're called. But, once you've seen the world of Christmas, it's really hard to duplicate it. I will say the thing they did interesting and unique in this film is the lore of Christmas, about other elements and characters and figures involved with Christmas. I like how they took a different approach to them. And what's the most baffling thing to me about this movie is that it cost $250 million to make. But you can't tell. Most of the time, when characters are in a fight or a chase or something that involves them moving faster than normal, it's CGI'd. There's a scene, and I'm pretty sure it's CGI as well. There's a scene where they go to, I believe it's South America or some island, and I'm pretty sure the beach and the backgrounds are CGI, except for scenes where they're running through sand. I'm pretty sure it's CGI. It looks bad. There's scenes where The Rock is in a chase with a vehicle, and every close-up is a green screen behind him. It just looks really bad, and it makes me wonder, Where'd that money go? The only thing that was somewhat intriguing is that because you have this character that's going after Santa, because you have a character that's so used to this kind of world who brings in an outsider, it was too reminiscent of movies like Men in Black or R.I.P.D., where you have a guy that's used to this lifestyle who's, by the book, knows what he's got to do, when he's got to do it, has all these unique gadgets and toys. And then they bring in an outsider who's really just there to, comment on things and react to stuff. Like, whoa, what does that do? That's crazy. Is that what I think it is? That kind of stuff. And that's the Chris Evans character in this movie. The Rock and Chris Evans have no chemistry whatsoever. It's like they're in two different movies. You could have made this movie about The Rock, him learning a lesson, observing things. You could have had this about Chris Evans looking for Santa or something, but just two of them together doesn't really work. There's a scene involving, I'll just say, a relative of Santa's in this movie that I took enjoyment out of. But yeah, The Rock has a suit that has certain abilities that are a lot like Ant-Man's, and there's a running gag in the film involving Wonder Woman. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, this movie wasn't great. It was fun. It was something that I'd watch if you were bored one day, but I mean, The Rock being in this, okay, I get it, but he's kind of channeling like his Tooth Fairy, vibes in this, because this role's nothing serious. J.K. Simmons is Santa again. I thought that was the best part of the movie. And his role is, bookending the film, and that's it. So because of that, because this movie is, what you'd expect it to be, I'm going to give Red 1 a C-. This felt like a film out of the Tim Allen Santa Claus franchise. And if you've seen those movies, the further they go, the worse they get, in my opinion. And this is one of those movies. So until next time, guys, see ya.